Okay, your final product should look like this. This is Tevin with Keepers of the Garden. I'm going to go over a quick introduction to how to process amaranth. So this is a large flowering head of amaranth that is traditionally grown. It's native to different parts of the Americas. Grown traditionally by the Aztec tribes for its nutrient dense and high protein seed that, if you can see here, it's actually this kind of small black seed. So it's high in protein. It's a complete protein actually, so it contains all the essential amino acids your body needs to survive. But not only that, it is naturally gluten-free. It can be ground up and turned into a flour and used to make tortillas and breads. It can actually be even popped, like miniature popcorn kernels, and turned into small little popcorn pieces about this big that's used traditionally to make a candy, almost like a Rice Krispie treat out of it. So when it's growing, the young greens can be a substitute for spinach. So these are kind of wilty and the plant is a little bit more aged, but it has this bright red color to it. And it actually is usually more vibrant if you were somewhere outside where you could see how vibrant this red is. But what's cool is you will see here the leftover material, the red stuff, they call it the chaff. That can be actually used for a natural dye. So if y'all are interested in making natural dyes, this is a good way to start with something very simple. It's not a very strong natural dye, but it can get you a light pink color, or even a brownish tan color, and even like a greenish color you can get from the amaranth. So traditionally it was used to dye clothing as well. So you get it for food and sustenance, and it actually has a material use for making the natural dyes. And I'm sure there are many other uses for it, but those are just the main ones that I know. And like I said, it's great to save you can save a seed to grow more, or turn it into food. So that's what's great. It can be eaten like porridge, it can be ground into flour like I said, and turned into breads and tortillas and whatnot. And it's naturally gluten-free. So that's all great benefits of the amaranth. And then the greens are just very nutrient dense as well. So if you are eating the greens as the plant's growing, you just harvest them and eat them, mix them into your salads, cook them. I like them cooked best. You can eat them raw, but I do enjoy them cooked, stir-fry style, or just kind of fried greens, and they are fantastic. So I'm going to show you how to do a simple process with these, and if it was a nice day outside, we'd be doing this outside. It's dark right now, so I'll do this inside and show you how we're going to separate the seed or the grain from the plant. And then if we were outside, I'm not going to get to show on camera how to winnow the chaff, but traditionally on a nice windy day, you would take this, you would process this, and then once you have all your seeds separated into a big container like this, it's going to be mixed in with all the red material. You want to separate it by doing something that's called winnowing the chaff. And that's where the wind's blowing nice and strong. You can take your container, you kind of toss it, and as you toss it, it's all going to fly up in the air. The wind's going to take away the red part, the chaff, and leave behind the heavier seed. So it's a super easy and efficient way to separate the seed, and the wind does all the work for you, so you don't have to worry about using a fan or blowing it all the way. That's a great way to just let nature help you out with that, with that chore. So we're just going to take one big piece here. And essentially what you do is you just kind of have it turned upside down like this. And you just kind of give one of these motions. You just start kind of breaking it up, separating, and you can't really hear on here, but if you could, it almost sounds like rain falling with all the seed that's falling through. So it's super cool, and this one isn't fully dry, which it starts to kind of brown, and that's how you know they've hit their prime, and they're great for collecting the seed. If we were doing this in the metal tin, it would make a lot louder of a sound. So you're essentially just kind of breaking up this plant material and I'm rolling it between my hands. And breaking, rolling. Now remember, this is the stuff you want to save for making the dye. So you can save the stems, but I save all the main red material. Make sure as much of that seed is separated as you can get, so you don't hear it falling out anymore. Keep that separated to the side. Keep working the material. You can't really tell in here. Let's see what we've collected. Quite a bit of seed. You kind of shimmy this down. Like I said, if we were outside, this is kind of what that would look like. And it's just you separating that. And you can see, leaves just behind your seed here. Quite a boy's coming to check everything out. I don't think you want to eat that, dude. So that's kind of what it looks like. It's blocking that path here, but you get a lot of seed from one plant. It shows here, watch out, look. You can see all the seed that you get from that one plant there. So you continue to do this with all of your plant material. Having a nice large bin like this helps a lot, and doing this outside helps a lot as well. And then once you get all your plant material in there is when you can take it outside to winnow the chaff, or like I said, you can turn on a fan, let the fan kind of give you that to mimic the wind and help take it away. And you would still do that same thing. You can essentially kind of let this material fall like this. The red is a lot lighter than the seed, so it just kind of separates itself. Almost like that. So if we have an opportunity to show that, we will. If not, I'm going to continue to get through all my material, and then we'll move on to the next step. This is one that's nice and dried and crispy. That's been sitting out in the garage drying, just to get sound here. Alright, so we have a fan set up here, and it's blowing just enough. You can see as I'm dropping it, the seed is hitting, but the pith is flying away. So this is kind of a fun process where, I don't know if you can see here, the black stuff is the seed underneath. So I'm just taking a handful. I don't know if you can see all that flying away, but it just separates itself, which is pretty helpful. And what you can do is, after you get the majority of the bulkiness out, to actually take the fan and just gently blow all the pith away. So you can see the red's going away, but the chaff is staying, or is flying away, but the seed is staying. So I'm just taking my fan and gently, it's on just a low speed. You can turn it up a little higher, but if you do, to stay further away from the seed. There in the middle. Alright, so your final product should look something like this. Minimal chaff. All this seed just from that small amount. Amaranth. So